Hey guys, and welcome back to another The Marg Diaries video. Actually, wait, should I keep on saying The Marg Diaries or Marg Diaries? Hey guys, and welcome back to a Marg Diaries video. Okay, so now that we got introductions out of the way, let me know if you guys prefer The Marg Diaries or Marg Diaries. Okay, anyways, so for today's video, this week has been filled with lots of firsts, and definitely adds on to our little change aspect from last week's video. But I also changed my notebook because I have this notebook that's really small, and I kept on writing like my ideas down in my journal, but I feel like it would be better to just kind of write it down like in a little notebook instead, because I love this one too. I got it from like a little store in town, and it just says, notes I wish excuse me, notes I wish I had taken notes I wish I had taken notes, but I did not take notes. My voice is so bad today, I'm so sorry, and now I cannot remember what was said. So very cute, I love it. Okay. Ugh, I don't know why my voice is like this. Okay, so before I start, currently I'm filming in a car, not my car, my mom's car, because we have driven out to this kind of like waterfront park area. It is so beautiful here, and I see so many people walking, and it's just so nice, like a lot of couples and just like people walking by themselves. There's people fishing as well. Like, it's so beautiful and so peaceful here. It's also about like, I want to say like 6 o'clock-ish, and the sun is gonna set at 7 tonight. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. But as I was saying earlier, today's episode is going to be about firsts. I don't know. But I have had so many new changes this week, and the first major thing really is right down here. I had my first day of senior year, my first last day of senior year at a new school. So really crazy. I transferred schools my senior year, and I think I mentioned that in my last video, but I am in my senior year of high school and I transferred. So kind of crazy, kind of not how I imagined high school being like, but still amazing nonetheless. And before then, when I first recorded my first video, that was when that's when I hadn't been in my new school yet. So that one was really like me getting rid of all like the nerves and the like the first day of school jitters, because the last time I had a first day of school was freshman year. So that's kind of crazy. Like, my freshman year, I was so nervous, especially because in my middle school I used to go to a private school, and transitioning to a public school can definitely be really scary. But I ended up doing pretty well, actually. I made a bunch of awesome friends, and I assimilated really well into that school, and I love that school so much. It still has a very, very deep place in my heart. But yes, so this school, in comparison to my last one, is humongous, huge, as in, like, I don't know what to even like compare it to, but if you could take like a football field, I want to say like I don't think it's a good example, but if you guys know what the American Dream Mall is, it's literally that, maybe even bigger. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but literally that. And I literally got lost so many times this week, but I've met some really amazing people who've like helped me around and get around. So that's really great, but definitely really overstimulating. Like, my first day was pretty lax because a lot of it was just like the tour and stuff like that, but then when I had to come do things on my own, that was so nerve-wracking. Like, there were so many people in the halls. I felt like my literal backpack almost got pushed off my back because of how many people were in the hallways. It's so scary. But nonetheless, I think I'm adjusting pretty well. What was I gonna say? I had a thought in my head. Anyways, but the size difference is definitely really crazy. Like, in my last school, there wasn't too many people. It wasn't super big. It was pretty small. So to kind of see like what, like almost 2,000 plus students every day is definitely really insane. Um, but in a good way, I think. I think I kind of like it. Anyways, but for my first day of school, I was shaking in my boots, really nervous and really scared. I don't even know why. I think it was just like the intimidation of like walking to something new. I think that everyone experiences that like at least once in their life, like more than once in their life. But beforehand, I had a lot of pep talks with my friends and my sister and my family in general, and kind of like talking about being this super mysterious, nonchalant girl. I thought that was so funny because like I'm the last person to pull that off, like genuinely. Um, but I think I'm assimilating. I think I'm definitely expressing my new self, quote unquote, or the self that I've been working on very well and putting it out there. And I love that because it's kind of like a new start. It definitely is a new start. Like, not kind of, but definitely is a new start. And I feel like it was just like the perfect timing because just like a lot of introspection has been happening, like this, especially this past summer. And I feel like now that I'm kind of at a point where I can express that version of myself and put that out there, I'm just like so happy to be able to be doing that. But I feel like I did play the mysterious cool girl. I think I played that role pretty well. I don't know. Like, honestly, I'm kind of nervous. Like, I am not one to take other people's opinions of me super, super deeply. It's not that I don't care. That would be a lie if I said I didn't care what people thought of me. But I don't take it to so much that it overpowers my own opinions of myself. But definitely putting on the mysterious cool girl act, I don't know. I don't know if I did it right. I was just acting like myself. But I think I did pretty well. I don't know. Okay, moving on. Because, yeah. I think since my first day of school, I've been really good at just being myself without, like, having any, like, walls put up front. So I think that's really awesome. And I've met some really great and awesome people. They're really, like, I don't know how to describe it, but I was really intimidated because of the difference in dynamics. Like, in my head, living in the city versus living in the suburbs, especially like differs with the people and the lifestyle. So I was really nervous that I would be really contradictory of everyone, not everyone, but like the people that I've met, like that I'll meet there, just because of the fact that I feel like I'm just like so different, not in the cool, like unique, I'm so different way, but in the I'm different type thing. But I also found out that a lot of people had moved from I can't say that. I forgot. Well, people have moved from where I used to live to where I live now. So it was really nice to know. But everyone has just been really nice, and I haven't had any like terrible encounters that have made me be like, I hate this, I want to go, I want to leave. Like, ugh. But so far, everyone's just been really nice. And even the teachers too. Everyone's been really helpful, especially during this time of the year. Like, this is the time of like college applications and college stress should kick in. And one thing that I did hear about my school from the friends that I've made so far is that it's really competitive, but I haven't let that kick in yet just because I feel like I've just been so used to it in my old school and I kind of let it go. So I hope I can keep that mindset moving forward and everything. But everything so far in my new school has just been going really well, and I'm definitely a bit behind on like schoolwork, and I have to clock in this coming weekend. Like, I've just been so lax this past summer, I feel like, in terms of, not really in terms of schoolwork, because I've also been on top of my college game, but not as much, clearly not as much as the kids in my new school. But it's totally fine. Everyone works at their own pace, so I'm not too worried about that anyways. But yeah, I can't stop smiling because it's just like, I love I love new starts and starting fresh. That was one of the things that I was worried about going into this school, was kind of thinking about having to start new again next year, because this is my senior year, and then this is the year before college, and that's another really big pivotal point. I've always imagined it like you finish your 4 years of school and then you're kind of like living up to the anticipation of getting out and going to college, and that's your new start. But I definitely think that I don't want to say I changed the script That sounds so cliche, but I changed the script, quote unquote, at least for me. But I definitely do like it so far. I think that it's kind of fun to kind of break off from how your life or how you thought your life would be. And I did talk about that in my last video, like how things aren't always going to be certain and things can always change, and you have the ability to do those things and act on those things. But I think it's awesome. And obviously, I love to be a set and planned girl, but in terms of life and just kind of looking at the bigger picture, I think it's definitely okay to kind of step out of that zone sometimes. But yes, I definitely think that next year, if I do go to college, it'll definitely be just as exciting and just as fun and just as scary. But honestly, I think that's the best part of new things is the absence of anticipation, like letting go of that anticipation and kind of just stepping into the new and adjusting to that. And I love that. I feel like when I talk about firsts, like there's so many things I could possibly mean by that, and I love the idea of that. Like, I know for me when I was younger, I'd always romanticize like your first day of school, like your first kiss, your first whatever, really. Like, I feel like whenever new things come my way, I always make it like a first, and I kind of remember that in my head. Like, I remember when I had my first matcha. Oh yeah, and I also made a matcha to go. It's iced, but it's in this cup, and I don't know if it's just me, but I love iced things in hot cups. I don't know why, but it just gives a different vibe. Like, this matcha is really good. It's I did maple syrup, oat milk, and matcha, but I think it's Aya Matcha is the brand, and I got it from Whole Foods. It's really good. It's very nutty. But I remember when I had my first matcha, I felt like I don't know, it just like was a whole thing that I knew I was gonna obsess over forever. Okay, let's move on to a different topic. So, aside from school, I feel like I've kind of opened my mind to more, like, much larger points of view, perspectives on people in general. Like, I don't think I added much on it earlier, but I was saying that, like, I was afraid that, it was going to be different with the difference in, like, living dynamics in the culture. But honestly, I think that being around a different type of person, I don't want to say it as it's like a bad thing, but being around a new environment, like a new culture, that's just so different from your norm, can be so fulfilling, I feel like. And a lot of the time, for me at least, I think that I always kind of adjusted to what I thought was best for the type of people I was surrounded by. And I feel like that just for anybody in general, like wherever you may live, you obviously always have a different culture and a different lifestyle than someone living like states away from you or even like another country. And that's just normal. But I feel like when you get to experience it, it's just so liberating and so refreshing. And obviously it's not to say that you don't like or you don't love to be around what you're used to, but just experiencing that can be such a great way to really open your mind to things and grow into just being able to adjust to different things. And I think that's definitely what I'm trying to do. It's definitely different from the culture of where I used to live, but I kind of love that. Like, I definitely had made up this narrative in my head about how my first day of school would go, and it did not go that way, so I'm really glad. And I honestly don't want to say that like all my days of high school or all my last days of high school are going to be the most awesome, and that's okay. Like, that's just normal, but I'm really glad that I can kind of have this better mindset about things moving forward. So yeah, quick matcha break because I realize if I don't drink this, the ice is just gonna melt and it'll be watered matcha. Okay, y'all, we're back. So, I did take a sip of the matcha because it was so good. Another first that happened this week is I had my first concert. I attended my first concert. Genuinely, it was the most stressful and the most fun I've had in, like, literally, I don't even know, like, it was so amazing. One of the best nights ever. And my sister, I love my sister. I love her so much cuz she took me to my first one, and obviously like I was really nervous and really stressed because this concert was in do I want to say where? Will that give away where I live? I don't know. Let's just say it was a really crowded and really urban place is where the concert was, and we saw Biba Doobie. I know. I love my sister so much. She literally got those tickets. I am so grateful that she had taken me to that concert because genuinely, I've never been to a concert that, like, of an artist that I really wanted to go to, because a lot of them were just me accompanying my mom to the concerts that she wanted to go to, and no complaints because I love listening to music and that's amazing and I love that. But this one was like, I've been listening to Biba Doobie's music, I don't know for how long, but I wasn't like a super like crazy fan, but I know that she was like such a pivotal part in. It's a motorcycle. I hope that noise goes away soon. Okay, anyways, I hope that you guys can hear that, or I hope it's not super loud. But I have a video of me, like literally from I want to say like my sophomore year, of lip syncing to Cologne, which was one of my favorite songs of hers, and I love that song so much. And I love Talk. I think Talk is what it's called, and 1036. She plays bass, and Tired. Like those were my favorite songs before, and to hear them live, or to hear most of them live, was life changing. I did not understand the hype of going to concerts, like especially when I was younger. Like that was something I didn't really like care for as much, because especially when I was younger, like One Direction, Justin Bieber, or like Taylor Swift were really popular, like concerts to go to. I never really asked for tickets, like ever. I feel like I was more interested in like toys. Going to Toys R Us is my favorite thing to do for gifts. But anyways, seeing somebody that you have known for such a long time on from the internet is so crazy, because it's like it makes you realize like, wow, these are real people. And I feel like that's something you realize as you get older. Like I kind of stopped obsessing over the whole Hollywood superstar thing when, I don't know, when I got to high school, I want to say, because then you start to realize that these are really just regular people that you grow to admire and love because of their passions. And I think that's also really beautiful too. Like there's no reason to kind of idolize and materialize these people, because you have to realize at the end of the day that they're people too, and you just have to respect their art and their creativity. But to see her live was insane. Like when she came out, I was screaming for my dear life. I was so shook. I could not believe that I was actually seeing her in real life. But yes, for my sister and I actually, we had bleacher tickets, but then we went down for Cologne because the concert was ending almost, and the security person kind of let us go, and we were like, oh my god, thank you. And because we were sitting in the bleachers during that time, like throughout most of the concert, and then we moved to, like when I heard Cologne, like those first two notes of Cologne, I ran. Like my sister like has video of me like running, but I was able to kind of like fulfill my passions of screaming out to Cologne. That was such a good song. Such a good song. So good. But yes, oh my gosh. And being where I was made me really romanticize like and be excited for like adulthood. And obviously I want to still be in my youth and be very like in the moment and in the present, but that one really, that experience was just so amazing. Like I can't even describe it. It was just like, wow. Like everyone was there and everyone could enjoy the music, and everyone was just like, everyone was there for this like one purpose, and that was to enjoy and live, laugh, be doobie, and I love that. But it made me realize like, wow, oh my gosh, like once I get older, like when I get older, like I don't want to say I can do these things whenever I want to, but it's just like you have so many like opportunities and things to do in life. It's so crazy. Like there's so many things you can possibly do. Like I know that going to concerts is one of the most like one of the most regular things, I guess. I don't want to say regular, but like an opportunity that you can definitely gain when it presents itself to you, whatever age it may be. But just interacting with so many other people, like of different ages and different backgrounds, it just makes me realize why I love living, or why I love the culture of a city very much, is because there's always so much like hustle and bustle, and you just think of how many lives are like surrounding you, and it's just like this whole thing that I have in my head. But definitely a very lovely and beautiful thing to experience. Oh my god. Oh, what does that even say? I have no clue. Mm. Oh, so another one of the things though that was my first was, this was the same night, but going to the subway at like really late at night, like very late, and I was shaking in my boots. I was scared, but I had this like constant like thought in my head that when you get older, you're gonna have to do this by yourself, and you just gotta be like fearless and aware. But definitely made me, that was like so fun. Like, I definitely think that the subway is not the safest place on earth. Really not a safe place. But definitely going there at night kind of gave me a sense of like independence. Like, wow, like I am such an independent woman, and I can do this, and I'm so glad and so proud of myself. Like, and when we got back home, I was so happy because I was like, we really did that. Like, we really went to a concert, rode the subway, rode the train, made it back home, and then I have to go to school tomorrow. Like, I I give myself many pats on the back for that. That was awesome. But I always feel like I'm gonna jump around topics forever. Uh, but another thing that I'm looking forward to is a year of many firsts. And I know this was a week of many firsts, but homecoming is coming up, senior sunrise is coming up, college applications are coming up, just a lot of things are coming up. And I am so grateful to be able to have the opportunity to partake in these experiences. Like, I'm so excited. I was romanticizing getting asked out to like prom, and I know I don't want to say that's like my number one dream. It's not my number. Oh wait, that's really crazy, but I keep on like thinking about it in my head, like, oh my god, like a cute little promposal. That would be an amazing first, or first and last, because there's no prom after high school. And I have never been to prom before. Senior year would definitely be my first prom because in the school that I was going to before, I mean, I think juniors could go to prom, but I just never really felt inclined to because I feel like that was more of a thing I wanted to do in senior year. But ooh, I'm so excited. And even if I don't get asked out, like, I can ask someone out, or I can just go with my friends. Whatever it may be, I'm just excited. Like, definitely living out that teen coming of age movie. Like, I forget when I watched it, but it was recent. Like, I started it but I didn't finish it. But I was watching The Edge of 17 with Haley Steinfeld, and this was I don't know when I watched it actually, but it was definitely me romanticizing a lot of, like, definitely a lot of my aspirations for my teen life, I think. Because I feel like prior to like everything this past summer with my introspection, like, and me thinking more deeply about myself, I feel like I kind of just wanted to sacrifice that aspect of living just because I was so focused on the future and college and really worrying about things that I shouldn't have been, but also rightfully so have been. But I feel like now I've just have this like really renewed sense of life and how I'm living it, and I'm so glad. Like, well, when I was watching the movie, like, this girl is going through so much of like dealing with finding herself and trying to navigate like relationships with her friends, her family, and all of that. And I thought that was like, wow, like, is my life a movie? Am I the main character? I don't think so, but that's what it feels like right now, and that's kind of awesome. Like, my sister was like, this is so cliche, having to be like the new girl and all that jazz, like your senior year. And I was like, yeah, like, that's so crazy. Like, I feel like that only happens in movies. But it did happen, and it happened to me. And I love it. I'm so glad. In a way, I'm so glad. But yeah, so it definitely happened and happened to me. Yeah, I get why people say life is a movie, because sometimes things are just so theatrical and should belong in a movie, and maybe I should write a movie about myself. Would that be egotistical? And that might be very self-serving. I don't know, but I think it's just like an interesting topic to write about. There's a person coming out of this car right next to me. I'm gonna pretend not to look at all. Okay. Okay, another thing though is that for some reason, this is really random, but it's so busy right now. Like, I was expecting this park to be pretty empty, and there's just a lot of people right now. A lot of people fishing. I've never gone fishing before. Like, ever. Or have I? Like, I've never actually held like a fishing rod before. Maybe I should go. I don't know. Maybe that'll be another first. Okay. Hopefully that person is gone, because I feel really awkward. I don't want them to think I'm filming them. Anyways, I feel like recently I've just been like filming a lot on my digital camera. Like, this is the one that I have that my dad gave me, and I love it so much. It's just like a Samsung, but I've had it for a while. I've just never used it, but I've been using it so much more now, like in terms of like recording clips and taking pictures of like random things really that I just love. And I think that I'm kind of getting into film and like maybe screenwriting, maybe playwriting, I don't know. But I feel like I've always just been interested in that, and interested in like movies and scripts and storytelling. And I think I've always said that I wanted to go into creative writing, but I feel like I'm kind of finding where I stand and where I want to go with my creative writing. I think it would be so awesome to be able to write like a story and make it a movie, or like write a short play. But I think that those are definitely like deep in my interests. Like, I've always loved movies like The Fantastic Mr. Fox, Serendipity, a lot of the A24 stuff. Although a lot of the A24 stuff I was really intimidated by when I was younger. But I feel like now I've just gained such like a profound appreciation for film and the film industry. I'm actually taking a class on film history that I'm so excited about, because I think we're gonna like film stuff, and yeah, I'm so excited for that. So I definitely think that apart from, discovering things about like myself mentally, I've also been discovering things about what I want to do, and I've just been so excited to do that. But maybe it would be cool to write a story about myself. Who knows? Maybe, possibly. That would be like my, what do you call that? My grand entrance into the literature society. Okay. But I kind of want to give you guys like a key takeaway before I end this, because I feel like I don't want to make my videos too long that you guys can't listen to it often, that you guys just kind of can't find the means to listen to it because it's so long. But I feel like my one last piece of advice is to just be really open to firsts and new opportunities, and if they come your way, like, grab them and really take the time to experience and live within them, and really presently be there, and don't just observe, because honestly life will pass you by, and being open to gaining new first experiences is a gift that should always be appreciated. And I think that I'm really happy that I'm starting to appreciate that now. I love you guys all so much. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm really glad that this is gonna be second of many seconds. That's a thing, right? Okay. But I'm gonna go, because it's kind of getting dark, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.